everybody, it's Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and I'm going to share with you a couple of layouts that I created using the Doodles and Dashes 2 collection in our Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit. And I've got some fun tips for you. There's some new product in here. Of course, Doodles and Dashes was one of my absolute favorites. And so I was thrilled to bring it back, kind of put a little bit more of a fall twist on it because it is November. So we have a lot of fun kind of November fall gratitude type things in here. So the first layout that I did is about this cute little new mug that I got, my little Nomi mug. And what I wanted to do is the colors in here, I wanted to match those, and they went perfectly with this kind of plus pattern background. It has that same rust in there a little bit. It even we have a little bit of this kind of green mixed in a few spots. I pulled that out with the rub-ons, and then the little pink of his nose. So what I did is I just printed my photograph. It's about 3.5 inches square. Printed that out. I left a little white border on it. Used some foam adhesive to raise it up. Before I adhered it down though, I figured out kind of where I wanted to put it, and then I used a couple of the rub-ons behind it. Now a little trick with the rub-ons, I wanted to kind of have it extend and draw your eye through the photograph, and the stems were not long enough to do that on their own. So what I did is I actually cut the stem off of each flower. I put the flowers down, I rubbed those down first, and then I kind of figured out where the stem might continue if it was naturally that long. And then the stem part that I had cut, I then just adhered down below. So you don't see the big space, which is behind the photograph of where that stem is not. Your eye assumes it goes all the way across. So that's another way that you can kind of extend your rub-ons or even your puffy stickers. You can see where this one I cut and used it in 2 spots. So you can do the same thing with your rub-ons. If you wanted to cut that mum in half, for instance, you could do half on the top and half on the bottom. If you wanted to use this one here, you could, because you wanted it to show movement through the photograph, you could cut it, do part of it here and then part of it below as well. So that's a good way to kind of extend the use of your rub-ons. So that's a little trick that I did there. And then I added just a little die cut tab. And then on this side, we'll get to the puffy alphas in a minute, because that's a bit of a little thing that we got to go over that I wanted to talk about. But first of all, you get this host set, and I've used a couple of these. You'll get 4 of them in the package, and you get them like this, and it's a library pocket and library cards. So you can see here, I folded mine, I put it on here, I added my little library card for journaling. So you can do that, and you basically just fold it. You'll want to put a little bit of strong adhesive here and here, and then you'll attach it like that. Now, if you want it to look like a true library pocket, you can leave this part open like I did here. Or if you want to turn it into more of like an envelope, you could do that and fold it over and have it be like a little envelope as well. Or you could actually paste it down if you wanted it flat like that and use it as an envelope. So there's a number of different ways that you could use this. I wanted to use it more as look like an actual library pocket. So I left that little tab up. And then of course you can add a little something on here. Like this one, I added the little yum yum from the rub-ons. There's a die cut, and I did a date stamp. And just as an FYI, in our classified memory keeping kit, we are including a roller date stamp. So that's what I used here. So this is not part of the Traveler's Notebook memory keeping kit. It is part of the classified memory keeping kit. So I just wanted to mention that. That's where I got my little date stamp from. And then just kind of tucked that in there, and then added a couple of the puffy leaf stickers, which are so cute, the embossed ones. I added those. Now, about the rub-ons. We had a little bit of a snafu with our manufacturer, and they sent us rub-ons that are the wrong color. They are a pretty pink. It's a very pretty pink, but it doesn't go with this kit. They got the Pantone color mixed up. And because of time constraints and shipping delays, there's no way that they can get me the correct ones in time. So what I am doing is there will be a sheet of alpha stickers. Wonderful Eve from Evalicious, who does all of our stickers, is quickly doing a quick turnaround for me and creating a set of alpha stickers that we will include with the kit, and they will be in a beautiful blush tone, and you will get those in your kit. You are still going to get these in the kit, which if you want to use them, you may. If you want to set them aside to go with a different kit or a different project, you will still have those, but we are going to send you another set of alpha stickers. They won't be puffy, they will be flat, which works fine in a traveler's notebook. But what I did want to show you, I wanted to come up with something creative then to show you how you can alter these. So if you do want to use them and you do want to play around, I came up with a couple of ways that you can alter these. If you have some of what they call stays-on ink, that is the type of ink that is used, it's a stamping ink, it's used for stamping on glossy surfaces. It's I'm trying to remember if they call it a solvent ink. Maybe I can see one. If I actually have one. Yes, it's a solvent ink. So this is what stays on ink looks like. So if you wanted to, you could delicately take this and stamp over your stamps and change them to black. That is one way that you can do that. The other thing you can do is you can take a Sharpie marker, a black one and a gold one, and you can simply take a Sharpie marker and color them. And it works really well. So the only thing is you want to be careful and wait for them to dry. They will be a little tacky at first. Try not to overdo so that it doesn't get under the puffy alphas and get rid of the stickiness underneath. So you want to be careful with that. So like for instance, this one is a brand new gold one and it's super, super juicy. So I would be very careful with that. It's better to use one that you've had for a little while. So, but the black works really well. The gold works well. You could do silver, any sort of opaque, permanent marker like that would work. Just give it a test out on a letter that you don't use as often, play around with them. And that is actually what I did here. So I changed these to gold. And then on my other one, you'll see I changed a bunch of my letters to black. So it is a way to repurpose. I thought, you know what, I'm going to just use this opportunity to be creative and give you some tips on how to use them. But as I said, you will still get this sheet. You can save it. You can alter them. I'm super fussy about colors. Some people are not. I think they're a little too bright, but they might not be for the layout that you're doing in the pictures and the colors you're drawing out. They are pretty close to some of the other pinks we have, so it may not bother you. It may work fine for you, but that is something that you can do. If the color bothers you, you can alter them. But as I said, I will have a second sheet of alpha stickers in there to compensate for that. So I apologize for that, but hey, things happen and we just roll with it. And then hopefully we find fun, creative ways to turn errors into bonuses. So yeah, so this is the new mug layout. And then I did this one which I love. This is Woofy and Huggy Bear. So I recently cleaned out all of our laundry room and storage room, and Jeffrey built all of these beautiful shelves, and it is all organized. It is wonderful. But while I was doing that, I came across a ton of the kids' old stuffed animals, and I came across Woofy and Huggy Bear, which were Nate's, his two favorite stuffed animals. And so I had to snap a picture of them, and just so many memories associated with those two little guys that I had to snap a picture and record that. And that's what this is all about. It doesn't necessarily, I like to jump all over with timelines. I don't necessarily feel like a booklet has to have that month's stuff in it. I do that in my Daisy planner. But when I do memory keeping in a 12 by 12 format or in a traveler's notebook format, I love to just, whatever is striking me at the moment, I like to put in those booklets and record those memories as well. They are safely tucked away, so they're not going anywhere, but I thought I'd take a quick picture. And I loved how this kind of gold color, this mustard yellow, this kind of gold color matches some of the coloring on the two stuffed animals as well as the black. So I used those two along with, and this page already had these printed on here. So it had the little paint speckles and it had the little leaves in that, and I thought it framed it really well also. So it kind of frames in and pushes your eye to the middle there where the picture is, which I like. And you can see what I did with those alphas, how I completely changed those by just using a black Sharpie marker. So I just turned them black and they work perfect with this. So it's a kind of a fun little technique if you want to really customize the color of things as well. I used a couple of the die cuts. This one I printed my journaling on it. I cut out a couple of the die cuts, the leaves, and added those on here. There's a few glitter dots, and then the little rub-ons. There was a little row of hearts I thought was really cute, and I added that there as well. Kept it pretty simple. There's a lot of pattern going on here, and the black pattern is a very strong pattern, so I didn't want to overwhelm the photograph by adding a lot more pattern to this. So I kept it pretty simple with just a nice bold and long title across the top, and then adding the two pieces of pattern paper and letting these little bits here kind of frame everything in. So that is a look at the two layouts that I did using the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit. And I hope you have fun with this. This is new and I'm excited about it. I love when we do things like this that are new, that have a fun little way to add journaling. You could tuck photographs in there as well if you had a whole bunch of photographs from an event or something. So there's a number of fun ways that you can use those, and I'm excited for you to get them. So I hope you're having a great month, and I hope you enjoyed the two layouts that I did.